This blazer is a little too big on my petite client. And a lot of times you're gonna take in a blazer through the side seams or through the back seams. I'm actually gonna take this one in a total of 2 inches at center back because it actually works out the best. You know, it's gonna be the easiest for me to get in there. So I'm going to start by ripping out the lining down here so I can get in to the center back seam. I've opened up the bottom of the lining here, and I'm going to take in each of these a full inch for a total of 2 inches. I made a line 1 inch in from the original seam allowance, and I'm just following that. I'll do that on both the outer fabric and the lining. I just trimmed off the original stitch because there's so much seam allowance in here so that I can open this up and press it open and have a nice flat back seam. I'll do the same with the lining. Where this attaches to the collar is now too big for the jacket. So we have to do a little bit of a seam in the collar. This collar does not have a seam down it, but it's not going to be something that anyone notices. So it's something that I'm going to do to make this fit. I've marked it 1 inch in, just like I did the back. And I'm making the collar 1 inch smaller so that it fits the new back seam. I'm cutting that new seam open so that I can press it open and have less bulk in there when I sew all the pieces together. Go back inside. I want to put the seam back together so I can actually just flip it all back inside from the way they constructed it. I'll line up these seams, the lining, the jacket, and then the collar seam. I'll pin them together and then I'll stitch across here to close it. I'll stitch it together at the original seam allowance, which is 3/8. There, and those big seam allowances, there's extra bulk, so I'm going to get rid of a little bit of that before I flip it back. So that seam now looks like that. It all came together nicely with that matched seam. The only thing I have to do to finish this guy up is to go in and hand stitch this lining back down. And then it'll be all done.